back in Mount Mortar, now with one extra empty slot in my party. This room, oh god, this room. Lots of little puddles to surf across like this, and lots of jumping ledges as well. You're gonna have to backtrack a bit in order to be able to obtain all the items in this room. I'm gonna show you how to do it if you're interested, of course. But otherwise, don't expect too much interesting stuff to happen today, because this is this part of the LP where I encounter absolutely nothing but random battles, because there are barely any trainers in this place. I fought the only one that was nearby in the last video, and I don't think I'm going to be able to get to the Karate Master in this one. Come to think of it, this, I believe, is actually the same part that got so many views in my Crystal LP, because that part ended up being on Chugga-Conroy's related videos, and I know this because my subscriber count exploded from this point on. I had, about 1,200 subscribers at that point, and I started getting subscribers like crazy. First thing I knew, I was already at 1,500, so I went to see what the hell caused that, and I noticed that this video in my Crystal LP had a crap ton of views because it was on Chugga-Conroy's related videos. Though I'm wondering why the system didn't pick a video that was more exciting. I fought the Elite Four not longer after this, and quite frankly, there's not much that's interesting in watching a guy fighting random battles over and over and over again, unless you got some interesting banter to make up for it, which I'm trying to provide in order to cut nothing or as little as possible. But yeah, I think if I got lucky and ended up having a more interesting video featured on Chugga's related videos, I would probably have at least 10,000 subscribers by now, if not more. But it's okay, because I don't consider my subscribers to be numbers, unlike so many other people on YouTube who trade subscribers like it's merchandise. I have more respect for my subscribers than that, at least the ones who behave. And by the way, I have taken the opportunity of, having to go outside to get another team member to try and investigate on how come those two guys were still there at the Cliff Edge Gate in the last video. And I managed to figure it out. It's because, remember when I caught Raikou and Entei, I had to make sort of a reconstitution of when I caught Raikou because I'd lost the footage. Well, for that, I had to use a cheat that would restart the entire chain of events leading to Raikou and Entei being available in the wild. And so I had to return to the burned tower to release the legendary dogs. And as a result, I think it sort of reset something. And I know for a fact that that's the cause, because I tried it on the other people's save state. I experimented using save states left behind by a certain light-dark neutral, and as a result, I found out that it's that cheat that managed to screw everything up. And so, see, this is why I'm not fond of using codes, action replay or otherwise, because there can be more impact than whoever makes these codes let you on. Dark Pulse, I'm gonna pass because I've already mentioned it several times. Ghost and Dark are just overly redundant when it comes to type coverage, and Gengar gets stabbed on Shadow Ball, which makes the decision very, very, very easy. But yeah, as I was saying, that code did something that was totally not advertised on the package, namely that it would reset certain things. So I set out to try and get those guys to go away again, and the trigger that makes them go away is that phone call from Baoba that you get when leaving the lighthouse for the first time after talking to Jasmine at the top. So I went to the lighthouse, see if I couldn't get anything to trigger, and I went to the top to see what was there, using the elevator, of course, and much to my surprise, the gate that's near the middle of the room, because the way the top floor is designed, you saw it, it's that there's a small room in the middle that has a ladder that comes from the level just below, and in that tiny room, the only way out other than the ladder is a metal gate that Jasmine opens for you when you first come there. Well, Jasmine wasn't there, the Ampharos was perfectly healthy, and the gate was closed. So what this means, I've thought about it, and what this means is that, you know, in the lighthouse there's a point where you throw yourself off a window and you drop on a ledge below. Well, that point is a point of no return. And if you can't get out from that gate, no matter what, then that means you're stuck in that area that goes from the outside of the lighthouse, near the middle of the place, and the top room. So what this means is that if you have nothing that has or can learn fly, and you have no escape ropes, you can be stuck permanently in the lighthouse, just because you used the code to restart the Raikou and Entei side quest. Yeah, go figure, I don't get it either. And that's not all, because after failing to meet Jasmine at the top of the lighthouse, I figured she must be at the gym. Well, guess what? She's not there. She disappeared completely. So I tried to see if the code was the reason why Jasmine wasn't there anymore. So I took one of those save states that I was talking about earlier on. It was at just about the same point as I was, except the Kimono Girls had been beaten. That was the only difference. And I used the code, and Jasmine disappeared from the gym. But when I used another save state that had all 16 badges, Jasmine was still there, which means that she's probably going to be forced to come back anyway once I finish the Elite Four. And I'm still a bit worried about that, because if Jasmine isn't there, then that means that I won't be able to do a rematch with her later on in the LP, and that's something that I really, really want to cover. But don't worry, I'm gonna find a way if I manage to if I don't manage to get a rematch against Jasmine, because I glitched the game to oblivion with that one code. But yeah, I'm thinking she's gonna come back once I beat the Elite Four at another unspecified trigger. And besides, even if she doesn't reappear in the gym, I don't know, maybe even if I beat the Elite Four and she doesn't come back to the gym, I'll be able to go to the Olivine restaurant, and she'll still be there at the appropriate times, and I could still get her phone number. I guess this is something we're gonna have to see after I beat the Elite Four, though, but don't worry, I think I may be able to find a way, probably using that aforementioned save state as well as Poke-Save to, have my Pokemon in that game so that I can fight Jasmine, but don't worry about that. I'm gonna show the rematch no matter what. I have a pretty good idea of what I want to do. I'm gonna go with Entei in the lead here, because it needs the experience a lot, and I think it's gonna be able to effortlessly one-hit KO anything on that floor, because this is the main floor that we visited the last time we were here. You see level 15 Geodude. I'm gonna try Headbutt for fun. Headbutt should probably be able to one-hit KO it because of my huge level advantage, and... What? It survived?! Wow, I'm always sort of surprised at how much abuse those things can take. I mean, sure, the Geodude line blows chunks, but still, not very effective physical hit. It's gonna take a lot to bring him down if you try that avenue. But yeah, as I was about to say, I'm wondering how come a code that's meant to reset the Legendary Dog quest can also it's not a full reset. It only reset a few elements of the Olivine Lighthouse quest and not the others. So yeah, it makes me really wonder how the game was programmed, because it just makes no sense. A code that's supposed to do one thing resets one quest that also resets a whole bunch of other stuff. I honestly don't know what's going on anymore. But you've been warned. Do not use that code, because I lucked out because I had a flying spot on the other side of that little barricade those guys were making, because otherwise I would have been forced to use a walk-through walls code to get past them, and at that point it's more than a mere annoyance. It's really a pain in the ass that you actually have to cheat in order to bypass the unwanted effects of a cheat that you used earlier. And besides, there's also the possibility of getting permanently stuck at the top of the lighthouse if you do what I said and don't have any escape ropes or flying Pokemon or whatever. So do not do what I did there. Do not use that code. I don't care if your Raikou has awful IVs and nature. Do not use that code. Thank you. But yeah, speaking of glitches, I've been hearing about how YouTube's sub boxes were still glitchy for some of you guys. It's been mostly fixed from what I can tell, but some people appear to still be having some difficulties with them. I personally have had a few problems with other things than those sub boxes lately, and video publishing and all that stuff. When I try to make annotations, and I've had to make a lot of these lately because I've been particularly oblivious, and I typically use annotations to avoid having 30 people telling me the same thing over and over again. But yeah, what was going on with that? Oh, we got a phone call here. Let's see what this Ian guy wants. Okay, it's for a rematch. I'm probably gonna take care of that off-screen if I ever think of it, but it doesn't really matter at this point because I'm way deep in a cave, and even if I wanted to attend to it now, I just couldn't. But yeah, whenever I try to write an annotation, well, there are three font sizes for annotations, rather. There's 12, 15, and 18. But whenever I try writing an annotation, it's written in such tiny characters that I'm thinking maybe it's thinking it's 1.2 or something, and I have to change it, then change it back to 12 so that the annotation will be at its regular size. So I don't really know what's going on with this. And there's also, when I try replying to comments that I get, sometimes YouTube's going to tell me, error, try again, when I try posting a comment, and yet when I refresh, I can see the comment, so there clearly hasn't been an error, except for the part where apparently other people couldn't see those comments. I can see those comments, but other people can't, even though YouTube seems to have processed these comments pretty well. So I honestly have no idea what's going on. YouTube's been awfully glitchy as of late. It's just one thing after another. Most people noticed only the problems with the sub boxes, since, well, that's, as I said, it's sort of the lifeblood of YouTube subscriptions, whether you like it or not. But it's just to tell you guys that there has been some other stuff on YouTube that's been giving me a headache lately. I don't know if all that stuff is related, probably not, but then again, I just talked about a cheat in a game that affected stuff it wasn't supposed to affect, so hey, what do I know? Anyway, we're actually quite close to the Karate Master. He's down these stairs that you see now, so maybe we can get to him. We're not going to have the time to fight him, of course, but maybe we can get to him. So, you know what? Let's go. Let's try this. Let's try if I can get to the Karate Master before time runs out, and after that I'll be done with this video. Oh hey, a max revive. I just found another one earlier on, and now another one. This wasn't suspicious at all. And ha! Made it!